So before I officially begin my talk, can I please request everyone to get up? I know it's been a long day and we could all use a little bit of an energizer. Thank you so much. Now, everyone who's found their North Stars, please sit down. You're the people who know that this is it. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Okay, so a lot of people still standing. So for those of you who have not found your North Star yet, please sit down if you've tried something new in the last week. Could be a new recipe, a new genre of film, or even a new route to work. Please sit down if you've ever gotten curious about something and instantly Googled it. So I'm glad that most of you are sitting down, but for the people who haven't, I hope that by the time I finish this talk, you do find a reason to sit down. Hi everyone, my name is Sifti Kaur. I'm in grade 12 and I'm still searching for my North Star. I don't think it's expected out of us teenagers to find our passion, our drive, our ikigai, the reason we wake up in the morning. But what's the harm in trying? So that's what I've done. From trying to learn 7 languages to doing courses on forensic science, from wanting to become an author to a commodity trader, from learning Kathak to playing cricket, I've never stopped myself from trying new things. Because what if? What if the next thing will be my North Star? And I confess, many things along the line have not been my North Star, but they've always taught me something new about myself. For example, I may not have a bowler's arm, but I do have a way with words. So now there are 2 paths we can take. The one at the bottom is the one that most people end up taking. It's a straight line to a fixed destination. You set a goal, you work towards it, and all new avenues are shut down because they're distractions. This path is efficient, it's predictable, and it works for many people. Just not for me. The one on top is a path much more like mine. It has all those lefts and turns and detours and loopholes and messy paths filled with what ifs. Like, what if I tried debating? I didn't like the public speaking part much, but I love the research and the discussions we had on global issues. So, how about journalism? Cut to 4 years later, and I'm the editor-in-chief of our school magazine. What I'm trying to get at is, if we don't try new things, how will we know that we like them? Or better, that we don't? Finding your North Star isn't about committing to the first thing you come across. It's about letting yourself explore and find it. Curiosity is what you can lean on to give you that intrinsic energy to explore your North Star. And you may ask, what's the best way to stay curious? Well, simply ask yourself, what if? What if I put my phone down for a second and learned something new? Is what I said to myself when I had exhausted my Instagram feed not once but thrice in the middle of my summer break. After a little digging, a little poking around, I ended up spending hours with my grandmother learning how to knit. And a week later, I had my first scarf. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Knitting is not an essential skill for a teenager. She would be much better off working on her college essays or preparing for her SATs or doing anything that will help her in the future. But why? Why do we have to justify every action with a tangible outcome? Why can't we do things simply because we want to? Is that not a valid reason? Why can't the outcome simply be enjoying yourself, spending time with your loved ones, or learning something new? While I knit, which can go on for hours, I often listen to podcasts. And these podcasts are about everything, all the way from material science to the theories of Thoreau. And maybe these little things have been leading me to my North Star all along. Because while I'd always had a passion for economics, the idea of becoming a commodity trader came to me through a Freakonomics podcast, which led me to a book, and it all began from there. So maybe these little things are leading me to where I'm meant to be. Another myth that I would like to bust while I'm on this stage is one that I myself had for a really long time. It's about passion. So when they tell me to choose between economics and chemistry, they often advise me, do what your heart tells you to, follow your passion. When I read my fortune cookie after I finish my Chinese takeout, it tells me, do what your heart tells you to, follow your passion. Quite vague, isn't it? But how can you be passionate about something without ever trying it first? The truth is, you do something, you fall in love with it, and then it becomes your passion. You don't just say, oh, I'm passionate about physics, and go head first into quantum mechanics. You do physics, you do the kinematic equations, you realize you like those equations, you start finding physics in every aspect of your life, you fall in love with it, and then it becomes your passion. But of course, if you keep playing with the idea of what if, often you realize that maybe those long equations aren't for you, and you leave them for something else. Every project you leave, every interest you abandon, people are bound to call you a quitter or fickle-minded. She just doesn't stick to one thing. I remember when I left coding. For context, my dad is a software engineer, and he spent a lot of his time trying to instill that same passion for computers into me. So as a result, I've spent countless months of my time and energy doing projects and tutorials, and I won't lie, I was pretty good at them. But my heart just wasn't in it. So I trusted my instincts, and I left it. Mind you, I took those skills along with me, I just decided not to pursue them. Why leave something when you have so much potential? They tell me. I hate that word, potential. The only thing that I could tell them was that I gave it a shot, it just wasn't for me. This is the idea of the sunk cost fallacy, where you stick to things just because you initially invested your time and effort into it. Often this stops people from trying new things because you're already stuck in one and you just continue along that path, even though maybe that path isn't for you. Other people are too scared to try new things because what if they get stuck in that path? But this is what I believe. The regret of not doing something is always worse than the regret of doing it and failing. So don't be afraid of being called a quitter or the sunk cost fallacy stop you from exploring your horizons. Because every hobby you drop is a new experience you gain. And all of these little things come together, the pieces of the puzzle that shape your North Star. So, for example, I may not have enjoyed computers, but I love the idea of the logic and the analysis and the fact that after I put in all that effort, I would press run and a program would work. And that is exactly what drew me to chemistry. Because answering every question was like putting different pieces of a puzzle together, or the rules or the exceptions, to come to that right answer. So, if I could leave you with just one thing today, it would be this. Don't close doors you haven't opened yet. Finding your North Star isn't going to come to you. You have to actively search for it. And how do you do that? You do that by staying curious, by trying everything under the sun and doing things simply because you want to. Every fleeting interest, every new experience is a step forward to finding your North Star. Remember, at the start of this talk, I asked all of you to stand up. Well, I hope that the next time someone asks you those questions, you have many reasons to sit down. Thank you so much.